Right, I'm going to try and fit in another game of Rapid. So 1739, good luck. 22,000 games of Rapid for my opponent. That's quite a lot of games, isn't it? And what have I done? 130. That's a little bit of a difference. Now, how do I want to play this one? Okay, go c4. I'm just going to go e6. I'm just going to look to develop and castle. Keep it relatively simple. Okay. Just going to develop there. What's an interesting move that I didn't expect? Is knight up a move here? Takes, takes. You can't play knight up and I've got a bishop check. That could be interesting, couldn't it? Knight up. It's a very, very committal move. And it is rapid chess. Opponent's got bags of time. I'm threatening a bishop check. I'm going to do it. Why not? If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's only a game, isn't it? I'm threatening a bishop check just to mess the pawn structure up, that's all. Okay, so I think I'm going to do it. Just throw a check in. I don't think the knight will take you. I expect pawn up. And then I'll just drop back, but at least we've messed the structure up. Then it's a case of, do I take this knight first so my opponent then can't take? I'm going to do that and then drop back. Now it's a slightly messed up pawn structure, so the king's safety is that little bit more difficult. Get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips. I've pre-moved in case pawn takes, pawn doesn't. Now, if I castle, am I walking into the Greek gift? Takes, takes, knight down. I think I just simply take, so I think it's safe, but might be sensible to push the pawn first just to be sure. Castle, bishop takes, king takes, knight down. I think I just chopped the knight, but I'm going to play h6 first just to cover this. And now I'm going to castle. Oh, I shouldn't pre-move there, should I? Because it is rapid chess. Now I like the idea of knight across here, just to go to f6. And then at some point, I'm probably going to develop on this side to get the bishop into play if possible. Guess I'll pre-move in case takes knight there, but again, it is rapid, so you don't really need to pre-move, but you never know if a game comes down to the clock. Otherwise, knight f6 and then try and activate the bishop is my basic plan. Just a very simple idea. Queen comes forward, so wanting me to take there, which I'm not going to do and open the file up. So I could play c6, I could stick to the plan and knight across. I think he might be looking to advance the pawns. So for now I'm just going to play here just to hold the pawn. I'm expecting the pawns to fly forward at some point. But now I think I can go here, pawn down. Maybe it's still a bit dicey actually. Maybe bishop here and I might need to take this. f6 doesn't feel like a move. f5 feels like more of a move. Actually, what's wrong with f5 here? Because of this structure. Allows knight down, I guess, but feels alright if I can clamp this pawn down. If you go forward in any event though, what on earth do I do? Do I take? That's too bold, isn't it? I'm bringing the bishop across just so I've got the option to chop the knight off the board. Say this pawn flies forward. Ooh, my opponent is indeed kind of going a bit all in here. Now knight across does feel like a move and I can take here. I'm going to play knight across, threatening to capture and trade my knight for the bishop. That feels like it would be a good trade. I'm threatening pawn takes or knight takes. Then we can maybe think about taking the knight afterwards. Queen up could be useful to work on this pin, but let's just worry about it when it's our turn. Very aggressive approach from my opponent. We're now threatening a move like bishop up, so the rook wants to come here anywhere. Now can I set up a trick here with bishop here, pawn down, pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes. If queen takes, we pin the queen. If pawn down, we take the bishop and we fork the two. So bishop gives my opponent a chance to make a mistake, I think. If we take, we're hitting the queen directly. If you take, I take back, so the knight's here and the bishop's gone. If you take my bishop and I take a bishop back, maybe you can take the pawn, I can sidestep, and I'm still forking two pieces, aren't I? It's not without risk. If you push forward, I could always just drop the bishop back. And I'm still fine, I think. So I'm going to do it just because I think it creates a tricky threat to deal with. It creates a threat of getting the bishop on the diagonal. That's the reason why I've played this move. It could backfire. I'll have to calculate if it comes down. I can always just spend a move dropping back. But it creates an interesting threat. Yeah, opponent's seen it, but now I can just grab a pawn. And I think I should. And if you take, I've gained a pawn and I've got rid of the bishop. And if you don't, I can get rid of the other bishop. Or I can think about f5. Oh, that's just a blunder. That's a free piece. That's unfortunate. That's unlucky. I think my opponent's just mixed up the move ideas there. So I can obviously take the rook. And then I can chop the knight to remove some risk. Is there anything better? I don't see it. He's going to bank everything on getting the queen onto the diagonal now, so I really need to deal with this. Now I think taking the knight is probably sensible, but pawn here, queen up, it feels very solid to me. I can do this at any time. I'm going to chop the knight now. Less material for opponent to attack with. Now queen up, oh actually pawn up could be strong here, getting a check in. Pawn up allows my opponent to blunder with the queen forward again. Otherwise I'm threatening to just rip it open. Queen forward creating a mate threat, but you walk into a pin. Okay. Unless I've actually just blundered. I might have to go g6, so... If I go here it blunders this, doesn't it? So that's not good. Might be me who's made a mistake here. g6 forward, take, take, take. Rook takes. Have I just blundered here? Possibly. Oh, I could wait for the queen to go there and then go g6 and then I'm covering this. So I'm going to go here. Here. Actually, I might have just gone wrong anywhere. If you go forward now, surely I'm safe to just take though. Queen forward has to be the threat. Ooh, queen up. I might have to sack a piece back here, but I have gained a piece, so I can afford to sack a piece here. Take, 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 and then I've got to watch out for the diagonal. But I think it's sensible. But I can go here threatening a check. I surely can't just play queen up and hit the pawn and invite it forward. I think I need to play f6. So I'm going to do it to fix this structure. Here I'll just take. I could actually potentially drop the bishop back. It's very risky having the pawn here, but I could drop the bishop back or I can take. I'm down on the clock now, man. So do I give up the bishop for 2 pawns? But then you've still got the threat of the diagonal. Or I can drop the bishop back and try and keep this closed. But then pawn down is a bit nasty, isn't it? Take, take here. Queen down. And I'm actually not dealing with it, am I? I think I've blundered this one. I'm going to drop back. Maybe I had queen across there, I'm not sure. But I think I might have blundered this game. Let's push with a view to trying to get a check in and then queen behind. Oh wait, now I've got queen check or bishop check. I'm going to throw the bishop check in and I'm going to try and activate my queen. I'm going here with a view to coming round the back. There's a queen takes threat. Now I can just sidestep here for 1 move. And I don't think it's a great threat. So if I play a move like queen forward, queen takes check, and that's going to be, you would think, over quickly. At least I could trade the queen off the board, actually. I could just check here and force the queen off, and then that's cleanly winning, I think. I think that's the safest way. Threatening a check if you grab the pawn. Oh, it just comes forward. Well then, if I take and you grab now, is it not possible to defend? I can just sidestep now, so it's not a move. Take, queen takes, you threaten checkmate. I've got queen back, haven't I? King across. If you take, king takes, check. God, that's a threat, isn't it? That's actually a direct threat now. I'm going to take and hope I'm defending. If I'm not, I'm not. Oh, he's moved too quickly. That's definitely not the right move. He's just not thought it out. I think that was a really strong threat. Whereas now I should hopefully be alright. Because I don't think it is a strong threat now. I think rook across and I'm probably just better now. Maybe even pawn forward. Oh yeah, my opponent's just resigned there. That could have been very dangerous there.